Sweepy time for a sweepy boy. We're sweepy boy. We're sweepy time.
Alright, important question
Yeah.
though. Are you a soft mattress fan or a firm mattress fan?
Um, I do enjoy a soft mattress, but I do also prefer a firm mattress.
Same. I love the couch. Like, I don't like this couch at all, except for the fact that it's so nice and firm. It's like very comfy to lay on.
I do enjoy a bit of softness, but I do prefer a firm kind of
Yeah,
mattress.
I like the soft every now and then, but if I have to stick with one,
I mean,
it's definitely the firm mattress.
I got used to it after going to your house so often, having to sleep on the hardwood floor.
Oh, you need a blanket? The blanket is the mattress, my friend.
Those stupid videos where it's like
Use.
the guy coming in with the fucking the blanket's like, oh, sorry guys, I forgot your blanket, and it's it's a bunch of other dudes with like the fucking pizza box as his blanket. It's a
The
dog
guy's
as
got
one of
the
the
ladder.
blankets.
The one where he's got the ladder for the fucking bunk bed as his blanket.
Yeah,
It's
that
not
shit.
even a.
That shit was us for real. Welcome back to the Side of Sauce podcast, where we talk about this kind of shit.
It's your
It's
boys.
your boys. It's me as always, James, and I'm joined once again by my lovely co-host again.
Johnny.
And we are unfortunately not graced with the presence of Gabe nor Maddie. They are still
What are they
lost.
up to this week?
I think I heard something about like Gabe being accepted to go into space, so they duct taped him to a rocket and they sent him off there.
That's right. He got into the Among Us program.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in,
yeah. Like, is that great, dude?
and I think Maddie followed him because he didn't know where else to go.
Yeah, he wasn't sure if he was the imposter. He wasn't sure what he was. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna follow him."
He's gotta
And the
follow
next
him.
one thing led to another, and he was at the air duct. You know.
You know, it sometimes it just be like that. And speaking of fucking Among Us, that scene where they all jumped out of the in Guardians 3 where they jumped out of the spaceship,
Guardians of the Galaxy had an absolutely episode 3 had a wonderful, wonderful one. It was so great, dude.
I kept thinking every time they jumped out of that spaceship, and I was like, man, they gonna eject us, the imposter.
They did that on purpose, man. You know they did.
Like they had
They
to,
had to.
but someone had to have thought, oh, this is gonna be fucking sweet ass Among Us. Somebody on set did. Somebody please.
Like, dude, I'm sure that was intentional. Like, that had to be. There's no way it wasn't.
It has to be, man. But we are talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 today, probably. Because we both just saw it today,
Yeah.
this recording day. This what is it? What is it? Tuesday? I don't know. I'm losing track of time.
It's weekday.
Yeah, it's a weekday. I just know I'm off. That's all I know.
For real.
For real. That's the only thing I like. It's like school, dude. Like I'm off, and
If you don't have a little thing to like anchor your life, you're completely like a schizophrenic lunatic. You're like, where am I going? What am I doing? What?
I swear to God, man. Like at work the other day, I thought it was like a Sunday, and I was like, oh, it's a good Friday today, and so I was like, Friday? James. It's Sunday. It's like,
That is the worst feeling when you think it's like about to be the weekend, but it's just the end of the weekend. That nothing feels more depressing than that.
It was good for me because that meant I was closer to like being off, but like
Oh, okay. I was thinking like moment like
I was
nothing's
so
worse.
stuck in the loop. I'm one of the cogs in the machine, if you will.
George Orwell's 1984.
George Orwell's 1984, of course. I actually have not read that book.
Pretty good book. Pretty good book.
Um,
I believe it's even on YouTube as an audiobook. It's not a long book either, so. But I actually did surprisingly read it.
I might be confused with someone else, but did George Orwell also write Animal Farm?
He did indeed write Animal Farm. You are correct. No,
Okay.
you're not mistaken.
Okay.
He wrote a lot of other like little stuff like that here and there in philosophical works. He's a pretty interesting author. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
1984 is a lot longer than Animal Farm. Animal Farm is like literally like 5 chapters.
Yeah.
I mean, you could read in a half. No, not in a half hour. You can read it in an afternoon easily. But 1984, it's a little bit longer. It's more like a movie's length.
fair.
Like not necessarily in like actual like 1 hour and a half or whatever, but like it feels more like a movie as opposed to Animal Farm, which is much more like a short story.
I actually liked Animal Farm a lot when I read it for high school.
I did too. It's a good book.
That and what was that book called? I had Of Mice and Men. That was a good book, man.
That's a good book. I still haven't read that one. I need to though.
The ending of that book really had me upset, man. I didn't cry, but I was upset.
Isn't that the one? Look at the flowers or whatever.
Yeah, that's the Look at the Flowers one.
That shit hurts,
Even
bro.
knowing that, I was still upset by the end of the book. That's how good it is.
Yeah, it's a compelling story when you can see what's coming next, and it still hits just as hard.
Speaking of which, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for a second time with Johnny. I saw it first May 4th when it like
Oh,
released
nice, nice.
that night. And
Highly based. Star
man,
Wars Day.
Star Wars Day, yeah. A little space movie for Star Wars Day. Did you do anything for May the 4th?
I did not know. I pretty much did nothing.
Fair.
That's pretty much me most holidays though. Like even Christmas, I'm like, okay, I don't work. I guess I'll just do my regular thing.
I was gonna go get. I was gonna go buy some Legos so I could get the little Death Star bonus that they give out,
Dude,
but I missed out. I was gonna go all the
I
way.
kind of want to go. I want to go to the Lego store too sometime
Mhm.
soon, man. Like I've been wanting to go for a minute.
Dude, I was gonna go and then I was like, I don't really want to drive all the way up there because that's like an hour drive up there.
It's only like an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know, man. I I'm not trying to dox myself, but I drive a lot, so like an hour and a half, like that ain't nothing, brother.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
For me, what do they call that? That's like a normal break at work, you know?
yeah, fair. I don't know.
Dude.
I just think about the gas, like how much like gas is going up.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
true.
man, do I really want to pay all that much for gas? Because I don't actually mind the drive. I just mind paying for gas. That's the one thing I mind. Because
My car's pretty
I think
efficient, so like I'm a lot better about like not crying about my miles. My
I do
other
need
car,
to change my
dude,
oil.
that shit was bad.
I do need to change my oil though. I think
Yeah,
that
do
might-
not postpone that, my brother. You should definitely change that sooner
I
rather than
definitely,
later.
yeah. Because if you don't, your car gets fucked. Like your car is gone.
It can really
Dead.
fuck you up.
Good. I did that the first time. Like my car almost spun a rod the first time. Cause
Bro, that is unhealthy.
listen, I didn't know how to change my oil. I wasn't taught how to do it. So I waited until like essentially like the last possible second to do it.
Bro, man's is like fucking we ball.
We balling. Fuck
Ball.
it. If we die, we balling. But yeah, now I'm pretty good about it. My dad was showing me. There's this other type of oil that I can put in it that makes a gas run like way longer. I'm trying to remember what it was.
It's just the quality of the different type. There's like quote unquote long endurance or whatever ones, or like performance ones and whatnot.
Performance ones. Man, I might have to take a sip of that.
Well, like there's technically like stuff you can add things to your gas and like quote unquote get a better performance. Like basically changes the ratio of whatever chemical compounds in there. And so like for sports cars and stuff, if you can't buy the high octane stuff, you can add the octane essentially in afterwards in like little bottles.
On God.
Basically give your car a little shot. It's like literally like a little shot shot bottle.
Okay.
Like the type you buy at an airport and you just pour it on the side, but it's like a thing. So like it's kind of cool.
I'll be honest. I know a lot about like a lot of things. Cars are one of my blind spots. I know very little about cars.
I know enough to talk myself into a corner about cars.
I know how to change my tires. I know how to change my oil, and spark plugs. I know how to change those.
I've not changed my spark plugs yet, but I've had to jump my car at least 20 times. So
I
got
only know
used
how
to
to
that.
change. I only know how to change the spark plugs because in my old car I had to help my sister's fiance change the spark plugs
nice,
out.
nice. Very nice, very nice.
Very nice,
Gotta
very nice.
be a helping
They-
hand.
They lost my car. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yes, you told me, and that's still, dude. Dude, I don't know how you let that go, man. I probably would have. Oh my god, that shit.
I don't know if I should say this
You-
publicly, but I don't know if I've let it go, but
You should have, like, bro, dude. I would, man.
but I've moved past it. I have moved beyond it.
He's a bigger man than me. He's
I'm-
a bigger man than me.
And it's not even like a, because I feel like some people think I'm afraid of confrontation. I'm not.
No, like I get Glengo. It's also family, and you know, it's also a pain in the ass to deal with.
It was also,
confrontations to
if I'm
begin
being
with.
fair, that car was also like on its way out the door too. So
Fair
it wasn't
enough.
like, so like even if I found that car, I don't even know if it would have been worth it to take it because it was like kind of already on its like last leg.
His last leg. Don't you mean Axel?
Shut the fuck up. You know what I meant.
Okay. okay. I just got wind that actually Scully may possibly have escaped from the inlet duct
He
in
mi-
space.
He might
And
have,
might be heading here in a few minutes.
He might have gotten onto the wrong spaceship.
He might have gone to the wrong spaceship, but we'll see. We'll see if I just got a text. I don't know if he'll get on or not, but
Okay. Maybe he'll make it with us. But dude, also I just kind of wanted to mention before we
Mhm.
get a little bit too much into Guardians, we aren't gonna do a very long episode. It's not gonna be like an hour long. It's probably gonna be like 40, 45, probably around that range. Just because I know we have some other things we got to take care of today.
yeah,
But I
boring
do,
responsibilities.
or yeah, responsibilities. But I do want to talk about Guardians if Maddie's coming on because I have no idea if he's seen it or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should knock that out first.
So Guardians, what did you think about it?
I thought it was pretty good. Definitely better than the other Marvel movies that have been coming out recently.
Definitely, it's the best Marvel movie since Infinity War. I want to say.
Yeah, like it definitely. I don't know if it's my favorite one yet because I was still going over. Like, I had a lot of things I liked. I really liked the new ship and the way they showed it off a lot.
Hmm.
They had a lot more characters and they balanced them all very well. But I don't know if it's gonna if it can really compare with the original two,
Hmm.
because they have such a soft spot, especially the first one. Because I did not think I was gonna like it when I saw it, so it really caught me off guard.
Yeah.
So like that one just has that like soft side. Like I could just watch it so many times. I love that movie.
Honestly, yeah, the first one is really rewatchable. I don't think the second one is as rewatchable, but it's still amazing.
Oh, I've watched the second one way too many times. But the third one, like though, it was great. It was really good.
I think
Very
honestly,
heart wrenching.
this is probably the best. It's definitely the best Marvel MCU trilogy. But I think this
For
might
sure,
be,
for sure.
but this might be one of, if not the best comic book trilogies of all time.
I agree. It's a very good one because they're able to
The only
like
one
take
I
a bunch
can,
of things from action to like emotional stories to humor, and they combine it all into one good, good medium.
the only one I can really think that even kind of comes close is like the Dark Knight trilogy. But even then, I don't remember the Dark Knight Rises all too well.
The Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins, like they're both not as good as the Dark Knight. Like that one is phenomenal, but the third and the first, they're good, but they're somewhat hit or miss.
Fair. I do have to rewatch those movies because it's been a minute since I've seen them. I don't know if they're the best Batman movies either. Now,
I love the Pattinson one.
Robert Pattinson's the Batman, or I guess Matt Reeves is the Batman. It's not Robert Pattinson's, but Matt
Yeah,
Reeves
same
is the
shit.
Batman.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, Matt Reeves is Batman. Fucking phenomenal. I am so excited for the second one.
Yes.
Even
Yes, I
my
am
dad,
too.
who did not want to see it, because he was like, Robert Pattinson, that's the Twilight Man.
That's the vampire.
The shiny
He's a
sparkly
girly
man.
boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even he watched it and he was like, okay, this is fucking cool.
Everybody goes to it. Oh, he's gay. He's Robert Pattinson. They come away. Holy shit! This is the coolest Batman movie I've ever seen.
I want to see, for Batman 2, this might be veering off a little bit. If I got my perfect Batman 2, it would be set during winter, during the snow, in like a Christmassy setting. And it would be about the Batman
Mr. Freeze.
and not Captain Cold. That's Flash.
Mr. Freeze. That would be perfect. I think Mr. Freeze would be a very good character adapted into this world. He would fit in. You could make some, gimmick or whatever why he's obsessed with the cold, but like, you don't have to go with the same wife story. But dude, he would be a very good adaptation for this, I think.
I think he's also
that
a
or
good.
Scarecrow.
I also think he's also like a really good stepping stone into like the more fantasy side of the Batman mythos.
You heard who he wants to do, or he's not necessarily going to do, but one of his characters he's most interested in portraying, or he would like to. Matt Reeves talked about Clayface of all characters. Like what?
Clayface is cool too. I think that would
He's
be a good
cool,
idea.
but like as grounded as he made this movie, that's a very big jump. And I'm not saying he couldn't do it. I just like wow, like that was not what I would expect.
That is not what I would expect either. Like I would expect, someone on more like the lines of like Joker or Scarecrow or Mr. Freeze. I keep thinking it's not Mr. Freeze, but it is. I have to keep reminding myself.
There is another villain named Captain Cold.
I know Captain
or
Cold
maybe
is the
it's a
Flash.
superhero.
Yeah, Captain Cold is the Flash.
Okay. I was gonna say I know there is another one, but I can't remember what it's from though.
I keep thinking Captain Cold, but I have to remind myself that's not him.
Do you remember this is totally off tangent. Do you remember like the random knockoff characters that you saw like in cartoons on like Disney Channel and whatnot back in the day? Because I still to this day remember seeing Static Shock. That shit was awesome, bro. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, Static Shock is a DC.
Is he DC? I thought he was just a random like custom creation like from like whatever. I don't know.
No, he's a
Cartoon
DC
Network or not.
character.
Dude, that's pretty cool. I didn't actually know he had a real thing.
Yeah, he's
That's
a.
kind of sick.
I think they want to make a Static Shock movie too for the new DC like franchise.
I always remember he would like run along things and like touch them and like shock people with that shit. And like I remember thinking that was like the most metal way to do it. Like, bro, man, just running at you,
My
zap the shit.
I forgot how heavy that show was too. My siblings,
Dude,
specifically my younger sister, was watching that show, and it was it's a school shooting episode.
I don't remember that. I didn't watch it myself. It was one of those shows I only got to watch at my friend's house.
Mhm.
So whenever it was on, I'd be like, oh, we should put it on Static Shock, because I thought it was fucking sick. But it was only if we wanted to wanted to agree to watch it.
Like there's like I remember.
But there's a school shooting episode.
There's an episode where
What?
someone like he gets bullied so much, and so he brings like a gun to school. And
My God.
he doesn't shoot up the school, but he fires the gun in like Static's like best friend and like shoots his leg, and then he like feels like this immense
Dude.
regret over it. And it was like
Dude, that's
for a kid
I
show.
saw a
That's
clip
heavy
recently.
shit.
Dude, there was a clip I saw recently. It was reminding me of it because I hadn't thought of this in forever. And it was showing like what's his name? He's at one of his friend's house, and the dad's being like super racist, and you can hear him downstairs. And I was like, dude, they put this in a kid show. I was like, damn, those are some heavy topics. Like
Yeah.
they were not subtle at all. Like
Like-
the dad was like, I'm
He's like-
complete racist.
He was being complete racist. He was like, "You got one of them in my house," and it's like,
I was
holy
like, yo, he
shit.
said what? Yeah, dude, it was a heavy show. Like handling some mature topics.
Honestly, that's what I kind of miss about a lot of kids shows nowadays. Cause like I can't really think of many nowadays that I would like, kind of think like that.
You seen Gravity Falls?
I have seen Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is really good. Regular show.
Really good.
I've heard
Really good.
I've heard Adventure Time, but I've also never watched it that much.
It's the same thing. I kind of want to watch Adventure Time, but I've never gotten around to it. It's like it doesn't appeal enough to make me put the effort in.
I feel like I would. It's one of those things where I feel like I would really like it, but if I give it the time, but I just haven't yet.
You have to give it the time.
It's
That's
the
effort.
same thing with me with like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. It's like I know I would
Yeah.
probably like this if I gave it time,
That's just too much effort.
but that's too much effort. I'd rather like binge regular show again.
I mean, regular show, go see Guardians of the Galaxy for the second, episode 3 for the second time,
Hell
or
yeah.
volume 3, whatever.
I mean, dude, not to like veer too off topic, cause
Mhm.
that scene with fucking no sleep till
Nebula?
Brooklyn.
Oh no, Slave! Stop, bro.
Brooklyn.
Dude, that was a heavy scene.
That scene where they all like that huge ass scene in the just the room. It's one shot too. So
dude.
fucking good.
I loved that.
I heard you audibly go ooh when he stabbed his leg to the wall.
Dude, yeah, he pins him, and I realized he didn't just stab his leg to the wall. He pins him there, and then he drops him. So he's just hanging, and the blade is facing up. So it's just cutting, and from his whole body. I was like, like that is insane.
I know that man just wanted to die at that point. He said, "Please."
He said, no more feelings.
Also, apparently this is I didn't know this, but apparently this is the first Marvel movie with an F word in it.
Yeah, I noticed that immediately, and I loved the choice of where they put it in. Didn't you?
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yes, I was like, I was literally telling Jess, I was like, dude, they had the perfect, least climactic point to use the F word, and they used it. It was exquisite. It was perfect, man. They couldn't have chosen a better
They
point.
could not have chosen anything better than that. I don't know, there is no better option. But, also, I think my favorite part of that movie is definitely everything that had to do with Rocket.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Rocket's always been my favorite character, so the Rocket stuff was just like
Mm-hmm.
creme de la creme. I mean, as much as it was tearing me up, like, I'm enjoying this movie as I'm crying for like the 4th time, like, oh, this shit.
I was like on the verge of tears when I first watched it too, like a couple times. Even on my second watching, when he goes to go see his
Bruh.
grandfather, that shit hit a little
The
different.
scene at the end, yeah, I was gonna say the scene at the end with his grandfather. That shit.
That shit
man.
hit.
Oh my.
Ooh.
That was like all the other times I got teary. At that time, I started crying. I was like, oh no, man, can't do this no more.
And that one,
The dam is leaking.
yeah, it's such a nice kind of bittersweet ending too.
Yeah, like it is very bittersweet. I'll give it that.
And it's not even bittersweet in the way I thought it was gonna be, because I thought there was just gonna be like 2 or 3 Guardians dying, and they don't. They don't really
Yeah.
do that, and they, in a way, subverted my expectations. You know?
Yes, I agree. They did subvert them, and I'm still not sure if I agree with that decision or not, because I feel like it also could have really worked for some of the characters in the story.
I feel like, yeah,
So
there
I'm not
some of them that
sure.
could have worked. I feel like,
But I hate when they choose like, oh, let's choose the most uninteresting character and just kill them off for no reason. Like, oh, they're an easy character to kill. We'll kill them. Like that. Like if they just like decide to kill off, someone like a Psycho, like I don't know, like it would really suck if like they killed Drax, but he's not one of the main cast, or like if they killed fucking what's her name, Mantis, it
yeah.
would stink. Or they kill what's the guy, the Yondu's like
Oh yeah, I don't know his name, but I know Sean Gunn plays him.
yeah, Sean Gunn. What's it's like Cragser,
Yeah, Craig.
Cragslers, whatever the hell his name was. Like the kid, like it would suck, but like you're not going to be tore up the same way as if like Gamora dies, or when she did die in the first one, or if Rocket or Star Lord dies, you're gonna be like, dang,
You know what I didn't even
they really
realize
just
until my second
died.
viewing of this movie?
Hmm.
I did not really realize how good of like a animal rights movie it is.
It is a very good. I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
I didn't
you're
think
right,
about that until like my second viewing, and I was like, wow, this actually is like an animal rights kind of movie.
dude. The other part, okay, this is a definite spoiler, but
Spoiler.
the part where he just rescued all the raccoons and he's carrying them all and he drops one and he looks back and he picks it up because he won't leave a single one behind, and then he looks around the room and he sees all the other things that need help, and he starts to cry because he thinks he's not going to be able to make it up because he knows he can't leave them, he's just going to have to save them. Bro, that shit, I was like, no, 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 soap, soap, soap.
The part that got
scene,
me
man.
crying in the theater the first time I watched it, I already told you, was when he's about to die, or I guess when he did die,
Yo, yeah,
and
dude.
he's like, "Can I come too?" That shit had my fucking heart breaking. I was crying. I had to like not make any sound because I was sitting next to Sandra. I was like, I don't want her to know I'm crying.
Dude, not to flame them, but the one thing I will not get over is how fucking terrifying his friends were. They never got less terrifying, dude. Especially the bunny. That every time I shuddered, man. I'm sorry, that shit scared the fuck out of me.
They were pretty terrifying.
Like Rocket, he looks like a raccoon with some cybernetic enhancements. The walrus was interesting. The otter was kind of interesting. They both didn't quite make as much sense. And then the rabbit, I was like, Jesus Christ, man was off his bonkers that day.
Like the High Evolutionary was thinking something else that day. What the fuck did he? He was
He was
like
high. That's for
he
sure.
was like Andy from not Andy, Sid from Toy Story. Making those fucking
That's
abomination toys.
That's what I kept thinking of. Like it was like that toy, the one Spider Baby doll had from Toy Story 1.
If you remember the scene from the Thing, where it's that fucking head that's like walking around on those little arms.
Yes. And they just flame it.
That's what it looks like. That's what that little fucking rabbit looks like. No,
It did.
when
It gave me
Rocket started like
chills.
shouting and crying after he killed Lila, that shit also broke my heart in the theater.
Oh yeah.
Even on the second viewing, I was like, man,
That's something that can't be underrated is a good cry. Like crying is relatively mediocre. Like most people can do it for a movie.
5 out of 10.
But when you have an actor that like, I remember like when I saw Midsummer, and it always gets me whenever I see it. The scene where she finds out her family's just all died.
Mhm.
The cry she makes, it's such a realistic cry. I've only heard it a few times in my life, and those are like points where like shit happened. Like that was the most like I was like, oh my god, that's a real cry of like anguish right there.
There
It should
are,
give me chills.
there is a movie that I know I love, but I don't remember the name of it because I saw it in history class. But I love that movie. I remember thinking that the entire time, but I will never ever fucking rewatch that movie because it made me bawl my fucking eyes out in class.
What was it about?
It was about slavery, like, and it was about this guy who teams up with like the North Side to like free the slaves, and by the end of the movie they do that, and at the end of the movie he's like walking around in the South because he's a free man now, and a bunch of like KKK members find him, and then they like chase him down and they like hang him, and
Dude.
I've got really attached to him. He was like my
Dude,
favorite
yeah, that's
character.
the thing.
And I
When-
started fucking like bawling out in the like at the back of the room in class.
that I used to hate anything historical because I always was afraid that the character would die because they're going to tell the most compelling story they can, but then if the character has to die because that's history, they always fucking do it in the most horrifying way, and you're like god damn, bro.
Dude, I don't even know if I want to remember the name of or even want to know the name of that movie because
Yeah, I
it's
know what
so
you mean.
sad. Oh man, I did not expect that from fucking history class too. That shit had me through an emotional whiplash, and I had to
You're
do
like,
theater,
whoa,
and then I had
what?
theater after that, and I was like, fuck, man, I'm still recovering. I have to
Yeah,
get,
I need a
I gotta
therapy
get up.
session
I
between
gotta
these
get up
two.
on stage and I have to say these goofy ass, corny ass lines. And after I just got done bawling my eyes out. Fuck
You're
this,
like, dude, this is ridiculous.
man. I don't think I'll ever forget that scene. Even thinking about it now, it gets me in a mood. I'm not gonna cry, but it gets me like in
Yeah, I
that
know what you
feeling.
mean. Like, there's something about stuff like injustices like that, especially like when you feel like when you're seeing a movie, because it always feels like it should be able to be stopped in a movie. But
Yeah,
like when you see those injustices and you're just standing there, it feels so bad. You feel so just terrible. Like, yeah, I know what you mean, man. That
yeah, man. It just
stuff will
gets
tear
it,
you up.
man.
But in the good way, because like those are the stories that really compel you. They make you care about things. They
Hmm.
make you realize you care deeply about certain things and people. You never even realized. Like, wow, it's cool that like
And
you're able
also,
to like capture all these stories and just save them for other people to experience again and
mhm,
again. Even the anguish. Sometimes you don't want the horrible parts of history to be forgotten. You got to remember that bad shit too.
it helps you change your perspective too, man.
Yes, it does.
Man, dude, I'm not even gonna think about that movie. It's making me upset thinking about it. Guardians
What's the
3.
first topic for the night?
Hold up. Let me pull up the phone. But did you have anything? Oh, Cosmo the dog. What did you think about the dog?
I did not like it at first, and then I really liked Cosmo.
I kind of feel the same way. I didn't really care for the dog at first, Cosmo, but I eventually really liked him by the end, or her.
Yeah, they didn't over. I was really afraid they were gonna bash her like her. Oh, I'm a cute puppy dog down your throat the whole movie, and they really did. They made her one an interesting character, and two they made her really interesting like with the narrative too. Like like the powers and stuff. I thought that shit was cool. I liked the suit especially.
So, also, I just thought about this because dog.
Hmm.
So James Gunn is making the new Superman movie, Superman Legacy, that's coming out
Hmm.
2025, I believe. And literally just yesterday or the day before, it was confirmed that he's going to be putting Crypto the Super Dog in the movie.
Oh,
I'm not sure by how much
interesting.
extension, but I am personally excited to hear that kind of stuff.
I always liked animals as a kid. They were always like, if there was an animal on the team, it was always my favorite character.
Hmm.
So like, I always liked Crypto and like Bat Dog or whatever the hell. As goofy as they were, like those are some of my favorites, man. So like, Crypto in the movie, that sounds pretty baller.
I'm
I
so excited to get a good Superman movie, man.
doesn't the super dog is he the white dog?
Yeah, he's the
That's
white
like
dog. Yeah,
okay, I couldn't remember like what kind of dog. I couldn't remember if he was a little dog or a bigger dog, like a little Chihuahua type thing or like a big white lab or something.
he's like a white Great Dane. Not Great
Oh,
Dane.
okay.
Not Great Dane.
No, no. I
German
looked the
Shepherd.
picture up. Yeah,
Sorry. I don't know why I mix up Great Dane with German Shepherd.
yeah. I'm not sure where I got Chihuahua from either. So
But
he's, your guess is as good as mine.
first
I
topic.
look at him. I don't see a single super dog as a Chihuahua.
First topic I want to talk about is the new teaser trailer we got for the new Godzilla vs Kong movie, or not even Godzilla vs Kong, Godzilla X Kong, I think. Yeah.
Dog, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even know that came out.
Look up a teaser image while I'm explaining it.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a new one. It's called Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, and
This one looked kind of
I'm
cool.
interested in it because like the fact that we're getting a
It's Godzilla.
new, yeah, it's Godzilla. Yeah, yeah. I like big scary monster. Give me.
For real.
But I'm interested because it's like we're getting a new one of these, but we're not. Because I feel like after Godzilla vs Kong, we would have gotten more solo movies.
Standalones.
Yeah, like we would
Yeah.
have gotten a Godzilla movie and then a King Kong movie, and then we would have gotten this. But the fact that we're jumping right into this, kind of interesting. I don't know where they're gonna go. There's kind of theories.
What's up with his eyes? He looks like he's got like super intelligence now.
So I think what I've heard, like a theory about it, is it's not Kong, but that's a new ape.
Hmm,
because they don't look
interesting.
that similar.
They don't look that similar. I wonder if he's going to be an ally or a foe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Like,
because he really does not look like Kong. Yeah, he looks red and he looks like almost like an orangutan.
he looks like a little
I mean,
orangutan.
he's not an orangutan, but he looks closer to that than he does uh Kong.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But like, yeah, I'm interested because I don't know where
That
they
looks
could.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, like I thought they kind of like made a good resolution at the end of
Yeah.
the last movie where he was like Kong is gonna be the protector of the inside world, and then Godzilla be the ruler of the land on top.
Yeah, kind of like when they chose to
Also,
agree to disagree. They didn't want to have a real loser in this
yeah,
movie.
I mean, I'm gonna be that guy. Listen,
Yes.
they had to make up some bullshit to make Kong look like he had a chance.
Because Kong was about to get bodied, bro.
Kong got bodied
There-
in the first fight. Kong should have
yes.
got bodied in the second fight, but he had an axe. They made up that bullshit so he could have a chance.
I was gonna say he got they plot armored him to survive to tie the second fight, and then they had them team up. I was like, bro, like they didn't even have it go 1-1. It was like 0.5,
He
1.5.
I think he definitively won the when they the second time because he had to get like rebooted to fucking
That's
fight.
the factory reset.
Yeah, they had to explode a ship on top of him to reset him.
That shit was cool though. I will
That
not lie.
was cool. I won't lie, Mechagodzilla in that movie also cool. I don't like its hands. Its hands are really weird. I don't know why they did that, but other than that, that Mechagodzilla design is fucking cool.
It was cool. Wasn't my favorite. I liked the older one more, but
My favorite
I
is
did like it still.
Kiru, the third one.
I like the second one.
I just like the idea of because they kind of mix the idea of Mechagodzilla and Kiryu together, where they
That's
had
what's
like
like the body of the one in like the exoskeleton of the other,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, where they combined in the original Kiryu was built on top of the skeleton of the original Godzilla. It's like its
Yeah, I mean
spirit.
that shit is cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
that shit's
dude.
fucking cool. And I thought that's what they were gonna. They did do that actually with
They
with
did,
Ghidorah.
right?
Yeah, they did with Ghidorah. So Ghidorah's skull, or I don't know, skull. Yeah, was inside of it wasn't inside Mechagodzilla, but it was controlling Mechagodzilla. Some weird shit.
It was like a partnership. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this monster, this kaiju is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare brings you.
But yeah, honestly, not a bad movie now that I think about it again.
Cool.
I might rewatch that soon.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching
What's
that
your
movie.
favorite? What's your favorite movie in that like monster verse kind of thing?
Probably. I'm always that guy that says there's never enough of the monsters and there's too much people, so I never can get into the movies too much because I'm always like, dude, fuck these kids. Like, I don't care about 11 or the really funny guy from he's in Bullet Train, isn't he?
Yeah. Which
I'm like,
fair.
They're good actors, but I don't give a shit. Like, I just want to see Godzilla and Kong go to town on each other, man on man, just beat the crap out of like. So, but of the movies, I think Skull Island was the one I enjoyed the
Yeah.
most.
That's what I was gonna say
Probably.
too, man. Skull Island is
love
really
Skull
fun
Island.
and creative, I think. And
Everyone shits on me for saying that it's my favorite, but like, I really like Skull Island.
I think that scene where it's the guy holding the two grenades and it just kicks him out of the way is really funny.
Dude, the scene with the spiders and the bamboo,
Ooh.
that scene, like, I jaw dropped. I remember, like, getting, like, I was like, wow, I
Wasn't-
really just dropped
Doesn't
my
one of them
jaw.
get stabbed through the mouth and like at their
Yes, and, like, and you can't even tell it's bamboo at first. You're like, holy shit.
butt? My God.
Yeah, it
Damn.
was insane.
Man. I think these problem with these movies aren't necessarily there's too much humans. I think it's they're just not interesting. Like-
No, I think you could make the movie with a lot more Godzilla in it. People would like if you can like make Mando in The Mandalorian show all those different emotions from just the different ways he tilts his freaking helmet. Like, you can definitely get some good like storytelling with Godzilla and Kong, especially Kong, because Kong's so like he's almost human.
Kong is more of a character in the Kong movies than like Godzilla is, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like he's really got like or he's got more personality at least.
Godzilla doesn't really have a personality in these movies. He's more of a force of nature.
Yeah, he's like a tsunami. You're right. He's like a force of nature. He just comes where he goes and just leaves, but he doesn't really have it.
I would
Make a
like
decision.
a more personality in Godzilla, honestly.
I agree.
I think
They
you
don't
can.
have, I don't want them to make him like super like talking with people and like big giga Chad like Godzilla, but like have him showing some basic like intelligence and like
Have him act like an
characteristics.
animal, you know?
Yeah,
Because like I feel like it's so weird. Like I think like now I'm remembering watching Godzilla versus Kong, and I'm remembering a lot of like there's like a bunch of like times where Godzilla's like speaking to this deaf girl, and he's like talking to her, and he's like having a
I mean
conversation.
Kong.
Oh, shut up, Kong. Yeah, and he's talking to this deaf girl, and he's like he has like full flight. He has like a conversation with them,
Yeah.
and he's like an actual character who has like thoughts and goals.
Dude, that shit pissed me off in that movie when they just completely brushed by all that. They did not show how Kong and that girl got that bond, and like that was like, bro, like that would have been probably the best part of the movie
Mm-hmm.
too. Like if they showed like a really cool, cause like they actually did a good job showing this bond between the two characters. I was like,
You
oh, like,
know,
this isn't
It'd
cheesy.
you know, if this was real life and they actually got like a gorilla to actually like
Hmm.
be able to have full fledged conversations in sign language, that would be on the news
Insane.
immediately.
Exactly. Because you know like the whole controversy behind like Coco and whatnot,
Yeah,
right?
I actually watched a video like a month ago about that.
That like hour-long video essay
Yeah,
about Coco.
yeah, that
Dude, I've watched it 4 times. It's so good.
it is such a good video,
It's so good.
man. Dude,
It's so good. Yeah.
just the fact that I don't think it's ethical to do that kind of thing to an animal too. Honestly.
It draws lines because like I get the like thought process of you gotta find a ways to like advance, but at the same time, yeah, like if you're being unethical and dishonest, like or maybe even like representing or mistreating the animals, that's not really supposed to be ideal either.
Because
Like
what if we get animals
shit.
talking? Because what if we get animals talking, right? And we get a gorilla talking, and it says the wildest shit ever. What if it just starts saying slurs to everyone?
The gorilla would just be like me.
Whoa.
Well, that's my thing with like AI. Like, the more we go towards AI, the worse we're gonna get off because like
Oh my God.
eventually we're gonna make AI that thinks for itself, and then we have to give it rights because if it can think for itself, it deserves rights. But then we are literally creating more problems for ourselves. Like my guy, like
AI?
This is the
AI
We live in the
scares me, man.
dude. It's scary. I don't even like using Siri. Like, bro, I know that might be like goofy, but like I really, it's gonna bite us in the ass. I think.
I don't like the fact. I mean, I think a lot of the memes are funny of like taking people's voices and making like AI make them say things. Like that's funny, but I also don't like the idea of like in just a couple years you could probably make this sound 100% real.
That's the thing. I used to always feel like, and this might be like the edge lord me, but I used to always feel like the days of true great crimes and stuff are really over because like it's so easy to record things and have a digital footprint, but it's coming to the point where you can fake almost anything. It's like I don't even know. We're coming to an equilibrium. Like it's gonna. I don't even know how it's gonna work out. You know, it's melting my brain, bro.
Like someone could just
If you can
lie
make a
and just
Yeah, if you could make a fake video and like these videos of Biden and Trump playing Minecraft sound so legit. If you just tweak it a little bit in a few years, you could make one where it sounds like Biden's threatening Russia or some shit and like what like you could start a whole fucking war with just a fake video.
and some little fucking shithead in his basement be like, I thought it was really funny actually. I thought it'd be funny to do that.
It was, but
Yeah, that shit terrifies me, and I don't. AI art, no, I don't like it. I don't like the idea of this computer making
there's
art?
only I'll tell you what I think AI art's good for, man.
What?
It's only for one thing, and it's for if you want to either brainstorm something or if you are a horny motherfucker and you're trying to find some new hentai you haven't seen. That's the only things you're going to find in AI art.
You're not wrong. Like,
You either are looking for some new sauce that you haven't discovered or thought up yet, or you're looking for inspiration, because there are some
you're
definitely
either
some
looking
cool,
for
like,
new sauce or you're looking for a way to bring some old sauce out.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing I feel like with ChatGPT, because I used it during school and I kind of stopped using it because I started to rely on it so much, and I was like, dude, like,
Oh, and
this is just unhealthy.
we're getting to a point where like schoolwork, you could just use fucking Chat GPT for it, and like no one's gonna know.
It's bad, man.
Like even nowadays, it's like all you really have to do is put it in there and like change like sentences around, and like what's it
Yeah.
gonna know?
It's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna detect it or anything.
Honestly,
it's ridiculous,
I think
man.
that's to be fair, in my humble opinion, I think that says more about the school system than it does Chat GPT.
No, I think what it says most about is where the future is. If you think about it, we're gonna probably come to a point like theoretically. This is all theoretical, obviously.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
not. This is what's gonna happen. But like, if the trajectory continues, it's showing that we're gonna become completely reliant on machines to do all our stuff, and we're basically just gonna be communicating with the machines to do things for us. Hey, ChatGPT, reboot my computer for me. It's gonna do all the stuff and reboot it. Or, hey, ChatGPT, refresh my PC. It refreshes it and downloads all the files you want. Exactly. Like, have you seen the South Park episode of ChatGPT?
I actually have, yeah. That shit was funny.
Dude, that shit was so funny. They got all their girlfriends so they could text. I watched it
They're
with Jess and
just
she thought
like
it was
me.
hilarious.
Man, they are just like me for real.
For real.
Man, but they were spitting with that one. I think it's just.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
I think honestly though, it's just like. I feel like there should just be more. In my humble opinion, I just hate the school system and how it's set up. Personally.
I mean, I agree. I wasn't even in the system. I was homeschooled because my parents hated the school system so much. So like, I grew up with a hatred of the school system.
Like,
They indoctrinated me to hate this shit.
well, at least you're indoctrinated for something good. You're indoctrinated for a good cause. But like,
I'm better than you. I was homeschooled.
but the fact that like school.
Can't do basic math.
I mean, to be fair, I can't do like anything above basic math right now because it's been
It's
so
literally
long.
me, like, I'm like, bro, dude, the hardest class I took this semester was accounting because that shit beat my ass.
My thing with math is I'm really good at learning math. However,
And good at forgetting it.
and I'm also really good at forgetting it. Like I always
Yeah.
scored. I was always like near the top of like math classes in high school, but when we went online, I didn't really care.
Well, that's the thing. You can't be taught and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we didn't continue doing online stuff. Because everybody talked, oh, we can continue doing this, but I always used the example, our good friend Noah.
Yeah.
He is a very much like, he is what I would call a mood.
A
He is
basement
very
dweller?
much, he gives into his intrusive thoughts all the time. He is my spirit animal. So like, for instance, this boy, when school was online, he did not focus at all. He played nothing but Destiny 2 with me during his classes, mind you. Like, he'd be in class and he'd just have his mic muted and he'd just be playing Destiny 2 PvP with me. And we'd do raids and stuff, and he fiddled away until he like destroyed his grades, and his dad like had to come in and like kick his ass. And like, I did the exact same thing. Scully did the same thing. Like, it wasn't quite as, I don't know if it was as bad ever, but like, it just when it went online, none of us took it seriously. Why would
Like
you?
I didn't. Like no. When I had it, I literally would turn my screen off and I'd play video games. That's all I would do.
I mean, why would you not? Why not do that? As a kid, you're bored. This shit's not interesting. The teachers are probably not having a good time because one, they're not prepared for this, and two, the curriculum's probably not really designed to be taught over the fucking computer. So
Man,
it was a mess. I feel bad for the teachers, man.
I feel bad for all teachers. Like imagine having to be a teacher and having to deal with little shitheads, you know?
For real.
Like
I really.
What?
I was gonna say, I think the real thing that society needs is not like. The real thing that would improve it is, I wish it was more rewarding to people that do important jobs like that. Like, society shouldn't be just rewarding to doctors. It should be rewarding to like everyone that gives of service. Like, for instance, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of an example, teachers or people that are like mentors, like that are like people
What?
in roles that you're giving back to the community. You know?
What? You want the government to put more money into things that they don't see interest in?
You were serious at first. I was like, bro, what is he? What did I say wrong?
You want the government to care about education and the future of its people? What are you, stupid? Dumb?
Could you imagine
Deaf?
how nice the world would be if the money was in social work and like whatnot, and like social work and teaching? That was where the money was.
Could you
not
imagine
in,
how
like-
nice the world would be if it wasn't
Dude.
run by old crooked men? You know how great that would be?
Crooked. No,
Like-
no, he's standing up straight. He's got a cane.
Yeah, shut up. If you have a cane, you aren't straight.
That's true. Yeah,
If
you
you're
can't
standing up
stand up
with a
straight.
cane, you got a hunched ass back. You look like fucking Notre Dame looking head
Stand up
ass.
for yourself, dude. What is it? We're not supposed to wear hoodies at work. I think you're not supposed to at your work either, are you? Like
I
they
don't
get
think
mad
so.
if you have
No.
hoods on.
No.
So like one of the people at my job, they tucked their hood into the back of their thing or whatever, so they didn't have it out. Which you see like usually what the managers don't mind. But their hoodie was so puffy, it literally made them look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I was like, bro, like look, bro, dude, you gotta take that hoodie off. Like you looking like you're hunched over. And they looked, they were like, bro, it literally looked like they were just hunched over, breaking their neck.
Broski's breaking backs over here, but not anyone
Quasimodo
else's,
over
just
here.
his own.
Just poor Quasimodo doing his thing.
Can't wait for a live action Hunchback of Notre Dame to come out. Just so we can get the fucking
Did they do
grossest.
that?
No, they have not done it yet. Actually, surprised they haven't done it. It would be one of the easier ones, I think.
It would be. It's also a much older story than I think a lot of like what is it trying to think. I don't know. I was about to say the stupidest. I was gonna say it's a much older story than some of the other Disney stories, but like, what am I talking about? Sleeping Beauty? That shit's old as hell. Like,
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. Like, I'm an idiot. I don't know. Sometimes I be talking too much.
Man's is
Catch
just
myself.
like me for real. I fucking hate all these new fucking Disney remakes. Dude, all
I ain't gonna lie though. The Little Mermaid looks good though. It does not look bad.
I wholeheartedly disagree. That
You think
movie's
it looks
that
bad?
that movie's color grading looks so bad. Why is everything so dark?
See, I don't think it looked that dark at all. I thought it looked. If anything,
Like,
it was too. I think
that
it's too
scene-
vibrant.
That scene with where they're like the kiss the girl scene, where they're like it's supposed to be like bright and beautiful. It's supposed to be like lights
It's
everywhere.
dark and they're at night. That's why that.
Well, no, like you can do a nighttime scene and you can have like lighting where you can see them. Like half the shot, I feel like just fucking. I can't tell what.
Trying to do shaky found footage.
Yeah.
The found footage Disney Princess movie.
Also, every animal in that movie is disgusting. Looks gross.
So, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I like it's not for me, but as far as like these Disney, I'll tell you what was bad, bro.
The Lion
Did you
King.
see Maleficent?
Actually, no, I didn't.
That shit, bro. They had the most convoluted plot to explain how the bad guy's actually the good guy, and then they made a sequel, dog. Like that was like bad writing. Or Cruella, that was terrible writing.
Oh
bro.
my god.
Like,
I
if you,
remember
like,
the joke of like, how are they gonna make this Disney villain relatable? They're gonna say the Dalmatian killed her mom, and that
Yup.
was fucking real. A Dalmatian kicked her mom
Yeah.
off a cliff.
Goodbye, mother. See, like, I don't think the Little Mermaid looks any better than like the live action Beauty and Beast or Cinderella that came out recently. But compared to some of the other crap that's out there, it looks a lot better.
I don't know, man. I can't stand these Disney remakes. Like The Lion King hurt my soul.
Oh yeah, I'm not watching any of them. It just doesn't faze me, I guess.
I
Yeah, no.
remember holding out hope. I was like, maybe, please. The Lion King was so good, they can't mess this up, and they did every fucking thing they could to mess it up.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. The Lion King was never one of my favorite like Disney movies.
That is insane.
I like Toy Story way more. I like Finding Nemo, Cars, but
Cars over Lion King? That's crazy.
yes, I did.
That's insane.
I'll stand by my blasphemy.
That is indeed blasphemy. What did you think about Ratatouille, at least?
Oh, I love Ratatouille. I love
Okay.
Ratatouille. I like The Lion King. It's just I like Cars more than Lion King.
I would
My
say
brother was obsessed with
your brother was obsessed with Cars.
like it's got that nostalgia. He had every fucking car. He was when he was little. He had every car, so we used to watch those movies all the time together.
Fair.
Like that shit slapping, bro.
My younger brother also had a bunch of those little cars. It was
Dude,
a
we
good
destroyed
marketing strategy for kids.
Dude, it really was like, hey, here's a Matchbox car, but like $6 instead of $1.
I will say,
Buy a bunch of them.
my favorite Disney movie, if we're counting Pixar at least, is probably Ratatouille. That movie just, perfect. I love that
I'm
movie.
probably gonna have to
Hmm?
up probably.
Up. That's fair. I love that movie as a kid so much. I never knew why until like I got older. That movie is just.
What
so
was
good.
it you liked so much?
I kind of like the message of it a lot. Like the whole like anyone can cook doesn't mean like everyone literally that not literally everyone can, but like
Mhm.
no matter where
Anyone
you're
can.
from, you do have the ability to be able to become one of the best. Doesn't mean you can be, but you could be, you know?
Yeah, it is a good positive message.
I
That was kind of how I felt about. I remember when I first saw Frozen, I felt that way. I couldn't quite comprehend like the themes behind of the family, like the trauma, but I really liked the message of like the family bonding over like everything.
That's fair. I remember being an edgy 13-year-old when that movie came out, so I was like, I don't fucking like you from the fucking
No,
girly movie.
I went through that phase for sure, but I came out of it pretty fast because like I liked Tangled when it came out, and some other movies.
Yeah, I actually did like Tangle when it came out, so I don't know why I was being
Did
so
you like
a
Big Hero
prick about it.
6?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Well, it is getting kind of late. I know we said we'd use a shorter episode, and we're running at the 52-minute mark right now. So, I'll let us wrap up here now. Thank you for coming on again, Johnny. It's been wonderful
Of
doing
course,
this.
but of course.
If you like today's episode, please like, subscribe. Maybe leave us a comment about what your favorite butt plug is or something. And with that being said,
What flavor? I like the sherbet.
I like the blueberry one.
The blue raspberry.
And with that being
Blue
said,
raspberry.
bye bye.
Bye.